All right, yeah, welcome back to the channel. So it's gonna be something a little bit different. So I had actually been looking for a bike for a while, and Yesoul had contacted me about one. So I said this is gonna be pretty interesting. So in this video, I'm gonna actually unbox it. I'm gonna put it together. I'm not gonna go step by step, but show you some of the features of it. Then I'll show you the bike put together completely from that point. And then I'm gonna let you know about the exercise that I'm actually gonna incorporate into my daily training that I'm gonna utilize with this bike and stuff. So let's go ahead and get into this. So this bike, I had been looking at several before over the last couple of years, and I've always been hesitant to buy one. But after they contacted me, I looked at some of the reviews of it, and I got all 5-star reviews on it, especially for the price. There's going to be a coupon code in there. This bike only costs $4.99. There's going to be a coupon code for $100 off. And comparing it to other bikes out there, this is actually exceptionally good, especially for the price point. Now, they have an installation video out there. I'll put a link in the description below so that you won't get too overwhelmed when you get this huge box and like, oh my gosh, what is all this out there? Their instruction video is probably about 3 to 4 minutes long, but I'll put it down in the description below in case you have some issues or you just think that this is going to be too much. It's actually not that difficult to get put together. So when I got mine, as you see here, it was out there in the garage. And when I first opened the box, I was like, oh man, this is a lot, because the box is about 92 pounds or so. So it is a pretty heavy box, but that's everything you see right there for it. So I did go through and I did kind of pull everything out, and I did look at everything, and I did section it out somewhat in my garage. I was building this in my garage because I'm actually going to use it inside my garage too with it. So I was just trying to get everything out in place and looking at everything for it. They give you the tools and everything you need to work on it, but I do suggest that you do take a few minutes and just go through all the steps in the instructions. They are pretty detailed and they're really good, but I do recommend you just go through everything and make sure you have everything in place for this, because if you don't, you may miss something, or you may just forget to have to go back and do something thinking you know everything. But in its entirety, putting this bike together, as you see here, was not complicated at all. It went together really smooth. There wasn't anything that as I put this together I felt, oh my gosh, this is trouble, or it was too complicated or too difficult, especially for one person to put together. I do recommend, if you're doing it on your own, that you're able to lift maybe 30-40 pounds or so, because you will have to kind of move the bike out and move the bike around to get this standing up and get some of the components and stuff to it. But you don't have to be super strong to do it. You may have somebody to help you out, but what you're seeing here is just some of the things for it. I thought it was pretty cool how they actually labeled, as you guys see there, the left and right side pedal with different colors, and they had color matching on the bike so that you wouldn't actually put it together backwards or wrong, which you shouldn't. Like I said, the instructions are pretty detailed for this. But going through some more functionality, there it is there. The bike's almost completely finished. And when I got the bike finished, you guys see this here. And here it is kind of set up. This is, I had it already set up and had the app and everything installed on it. So this was in my garage. It took me about, I'd say about 50 minutes or so to get this completely together, and probably about another 5 to 8 minutes or so to get the software and stuff installed. It's not going to take you long. So if your experience take you about an hour, if you're not, it's going to take you probably about an hour and a half or so to get everything together for this. Now, once set up, you'll definitely have to go on there and download their app. They got a couple of things on the app that I think that people would find very useful. You can select the different languages, as you see right there for it. So I went ahead and downloaded this because they did have some tutorials and stuff on there. I think that'll be useful, especially for a beginner. This is my first, I guess, modern exercise bike. I had one a long time ago, but it wasn't the best in the world. But once you get all that installed, then you got, of course, you see this is the screen for it, and then of course you can turn this on and off. The first one's just audio, and then the next one's going to be Bluetooth, and that's going to be your basic display screen right there. This is all in kilometers. I don't know why they don't have miles, but I couldn't find a way to adjust it. But just so you know, everything is going to be in kilometers, so you will have to do your own calculations if you're used to miles like myself with that. Now, looking at the screen and everything for it, I did go ahead and basically just try it out real quick with the basic screen going. I wanted to see how the interaction was, the timer and all that stuff, just to kind of get a feel for things with this. Like I said, this is my first modern bike that I've had for this, and it was pretty interesting to go through and actually link all this up. And I did link it up to my phone. You can mirror your phone, which I did here. You guys will see all this here. So it wasn't difficult at all. They do give you the cords and stuff to hook this up directly to an Android phone, but you do have to hit that screen share or cast right there, because if you don't, you're going to be trying to wander back and forth. So you do have to kind of scroll down on your phone to get that to cast up there. Now, of course, it's not going to mirror it there, but once you get one of your apps going and stuff, I'm going to click on the app in just a minute, you guys will see that it'll mirror my screen as I'm kind of going through. So I thought that was pretty cool. There was no lag or delay that I saw in there. And this is going to be good for me because a lot of times, as you see here after my training, I do actually need to sit back and think about either what I was doing in training, sparring, or whatever it may be. And this is going to help me just to get on the bike, just to ride it for 10-15 minutes or so and just think about what I did in my training. As far as screencasting, this is another YouTube video. Of course, it's NCS, but you can cast from your phone to here. I saw some videos of people having problems with it. I wasn't sure why, and they were downloading, I believe, other software, but I didn't download any software. And this cell phone that I'm using here is about 5 years old, I believe, if I recall. So I didn't have any problems with it. I do recommend you turn your volume up all the way on your phone, and that way you can adjust the volume right there on the monitor for it. And it displayed it good. I heard some people talking about, oh, it seemed like it was a low quality, but it seemed 1080p and fine to me with that. So, and then other features, if you go to the app, of course, there's the app pulling up there. They have a lot of things on this app. You can scroll in it for hours, probably trying to figure out some of the stuff that was going on. But what I wanted to see was some of these display screens as you're actually riding the bike. Now, most of them do require a subscription, as you guys see there. I didn't want to subscribe to anything, but they do have some free ones now. So don't think that you have to pay for everything with this, because that's what I was thinking. Oh man, I got to pay for all this stuff. But there it is there, and you can actually cast the screen, and it plays some nice, decent music in the background. And of course, as you're riding, you can kind of monitor your progress, the speed you're going, the distance, and everything for that as well. So I did kind of turn the volume, but it did have music playing, so I didn't want to, of course, play all that music out here. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Of course, you can get rid of that screen and stuff. That's just some helpful tips that as you're riding this bike, they give you there. But I thought this was pretty interesting and pretty cool. Like I said, the bike I had before was years ago, and of course it was just a regular stationary bike I got it from Walmart, and I think it was about $200 something, and it kind of fell apart after several months there. So it was good to have something that's kind of a little bit more modern, and it's cheap too. Like I said, it's $4.99, but there's going to be a coupon code for $100 off. So for the price point, I think this is actually going to be a good bike, especially for somebody that's a beginner or intermediate. And here you see there I'm casting from my Disney app. And then I also went over to my Paramount Plus and stuff like that in my Amazon Prime app, and I was able to cast the stuff from there. So I'm not sure what problems people were having, but I didn't have any once I went in and I selected that screencast for it. So I didn't have any problems casting anything from my phone onto this monitor here. So now, they do have a lot of good tutorials that'll help people out there, especially beginning ones, people talking, people motivating you. You can turn those captions on and off too, and you can select the captions in different languages, which I thought was cool. So I'm kind of playing with a little bit here, showing you guys some different people, but they're pretty motivated. But there is where you can select the different captions, whether you want to have them on or off, whether you can have it in different languages. I did want to just see it in the different languages. I did want to turn it off for a minute. And then I went back in, I believe I did it in all three of them, actually, in the Dutch, the Spanish, and that may be Chinese, and that may be the other one. But the person on there, I mean, for someone that's getting started, it'll be very motivational to them. For me, like I said, I'm going to be utilizing this. I probably won't do too many of their tutorials because I can do some things on my own. I know what I got to do for this. But it's going to be very helpful, and I think it's good for a first person purchasing a bike. And they got, like I said, different people in there entertaining you. They got different workouts and stuff for you. They got fast ones, short ones. So it has a lot of different features in there on the app. So I do recommend downloading the app. And if you're getting started, just go through some of this stuff and enjoy it. Enjoy some of the commentary that people have. Each person has a different personality type. And I think you guys will actually enjoy some of their personality types. I actually kind of laughed a little bit when I was going through this and working out with this. And then, of course, like I said before, after my training, I normally go in here and look at a couple of things that I do here for this. Now, as far as riding experience, the bike was actually comfortable to ride, and the seat's adjustable and everything. It has a lot of adjustability to it. So with me, I did take it out for its first spin. I rode it for about 15 minutes straight at this pace here, and it was fine. I haven't ridden a bike like this in a while, so I was a little tight, so I did have to stretch afterwards. I do recommend you doing some stretching before and afterwards. You should basically do your basic calf stretches and everything for that. But one of the main things this bike is going to do for me is it's going to help me in my general workout. So what I did was I got a plan that I have that I'm actually doing now, where I ride the bike for about 5 minutes straight, and then after 5 minutes, then I go in and then I do 50 push-ups. And then after I'm doing my 50 push-ups, and I'm a southpaw fighter, so some of you guys may be, push your, where's your right arm closer to your left arm? It's reasons I do that, because I'm actually a southpaw fighter. That means I fight with my right side forward. And then from that point, you can go in and you can do some sit-ups or crunches. So you can get a complete workout with this. Just take your time, look at some tutorials that they have out there, and look at some basic exercises, because you can do a complete workout with this and start getting yourself back in shape, which is kind of what I recommend with this. I mean, at $3.99, you can't beat that. Most people can't get out because they can't run because they're kind of overweight. But something like this is going to help you lose some of that weight and get you in a good routine to start working out. And I do recommend, if you do something, go ahead and do something where you can work out consistently for about 20 minutes straight, because that always helps you to lose weight and get back in shape. So the bike, like I said, is good. I didn't have any problems or issues with it. I enjoyed kind of putting it together because, like I said, it's the first time me having something as, for myself, a bike this advanced with all these features and stuff into it. And it's got a lot more technical aspects, but I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check that out. But for the price you're paying for this compared to a lot of the other bikes on the market and stuff, I think it's really good. I mean, everything about the bike, the construction of it and everything was solid. Once you get it together, it's easy to move because it does have tires or some wheels on the front of it, so you can kind of lift it up and slide it around and stuff, which I said I have this in my garage, and of course parked the Corvette and stuff in there. And I parked this on the side, and it's easy to move back and forth with that. And it's, like I said, for the features and what you get for this, it's got a lot of stuff that you would see on a lot of, from my opinion and looking at this, a lot of higher model bikes that are out there for it. So go to the link below if you guys are interested in it, check it out, and leave your comments down below. Maybe some of you guys actually have something like this or have something similar, you know, have tried it out. So I'd like to see some of your comments too. I've had this for a little bit over a week, and I've been using it for the last, I think, about 4 or 5 training sessions, and so far I really like it, and it's been good. So I'm definitely going to be utilizing this a lot more in the future. So if y'all want a video to know what I'm doing 6 months down the road, let me know. But I'll leave a link below in the description. You guys can check this out. You can see some more of the functionality and the technical stuff that goes behind it. Of course, the screen, of course, is 360. You can turn it 360 degrees, and it's got a lot more to it. But I wanted to show this to you guys, because I think this is actually a good deal for it, especially compared to some of the other stuff out there. So anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, put your comments down below. Stay tuned for the next video. Appreciate you guys watching.